Here we go. It's an FA Cup semi-final that holds great promise. Chelsea up against Leeds at Wembley. It doesn't get much bigger than this. A chance at the final. The winner of this game has another chance at Wembley to lift the FA Cup trophy. They will have a tough prospect standing in their way in Manchester City, as they did beat Southampton late on to book their place in the final. But out of Leeds and Chelsea, one of these will book their place, as Manchester City did yesterday. And usually Chelsea you'd think would be the favourites, and I still think they are, by the players they've got on the pitch, but the momentum is not with them, the form isn't with them, and Leeds, a lot of people have fancied them, and we have got underway here at Wembley, and this should be an incredible match. It really should be a great match. Leeds, the shackles are off really, with them all but safe from relegation, and that's an early challenge from Caicedo, who's brought down Okafor just on the edge of the box, and that's going to be a free kick for Leeds early on. Leeds starting with pace, energy and intent in these opening 30 seconds. And Caicedo with the lunge gets none of the ball and takes Okafor down, and he's arguing with the referee, but it is a clear foul, that one, and there is a player down for Chelsea. I think it might be Malo Gusto, who was running back. And I think he did just get stamped on accidentally by Tanaka. So Leeds with the first big chance of this game. They're unbeaten in 7 as well, by the way, so they're in real good form. Well, Chelsea are the opposite, really. They've not won in their last 3 games. They're struggling to score, although they did score 7 in their previous FA Cup game, but that was against Port Vale, so you can't judge too much on that. Leeds, of course, knocking out West Ham United on penalties in the last round to reach the semi-finals at Wembley. And Gusto is back up on his feet, so we will be able to resume play with this free kick left of centre, in a good position for one of these Leeds players to take aim and try their luck. Sanchez organising the wall for Chelsea. And they have conceded a bucket load of goals in recent times. 3-0 in their last outing against Brighton. They lost 3-0 to Manchester City not long ago, 3-0 to Chelsea. So still waiting, as it's been a minute and a half since Okafor went down and play was stopped, but it does look like it will be either Tanaka or Goodmanson for Leeds. It's a primed position. Probably favours a right footer more, perhaps. Although, we'll see. It is Tanaka, but that was always going over. Chelsea, of course, playing their first game without Liam Rosenior at the helm after his sacking earlier on this week. And it is left to Callum McFarlane, who did come in for Chelsea's game against Manchester City after Maresca was sacked and got a positive result, scoring late on to equalise to finish that game 1-1. So he is unbeaten as Chelsea manager, albeit the one game. But he will be in charge for the rest of the season. And if they win here today, he'll be trying his luck again against Manchester City. But it will be interesting to see who will prevail. Will it be the team who are favourites on paper but don't have the form to go along with it? Or will it be the form team, Leeds United, who have done tremendously well back in the Premier League and they look like they're going to be staying up for another season in England's top division? Chelsea with the ball at the back here. Sanchez going long. And João Pedro knocks it down brilliantly to Enzo Fernandez, who shoots, and it's comfortable enough for the goalkeeper, Perry, who is the cup goalkeeper for Leeds. Darlow in between the sticks in the Premier League games, but Perry trusted by Farke in this huge game for Leeds, as they've not been in an FA Cup semi-final since 1987. But here's Garnacho, who looks to play it into the box, but it's won by Leeds, and Aronson can look to get away here. Tanaka, Calvert-Lewin, Anderson couldn't quite keep it, so Chelsea recycle the ball. Cucurella goes back to Tosin. But yes, Leeds, they lost their last semi-final appearance 3-2 against Coventry City, and that was after extra time, so we'll have to see how far this goes. And Leeds, they haven't won the FA Cup since 1972. And if they're going to do that, they're going to have to beat Chelsea and Manchester City. So, a tough ask. But they will just be focusing on this game. And then in a one-off game at Wembley, anything can happen really. So, Cucurella onto Garnacho. Restored to the side. Lavia. Enzo Fernandez clips an early ball into the box, but it's too far away from everyone and it goes out for a goal kick. Liam McFarlane applauding that from his team. Chelsea with the early possession, as you would expect. Perry going long. Calvert-Lewin winning the flick on, but it rolls back to Sanchez. Tosin onto Sanchez. Out to Cucurella, Fernandez, Caicedo. Cucurella with an incisive looking pass to João Pedro, but just a bit wayward. And Leeds can win it back, and that's nicely done by Stroke. Composure to get past João Pedro, but Chelsea win it back. João Pedro on the ball. And Chelsea will be pleased to have him back, as he was in supreme form and had a great record under Liam Rossini. Here's Pedro Neto now. Toss in. Cucurella. Alejandro Garnacho. Chalobah. Gusto. Back to Chalobah and back to the goalkeeper. Cucurella. Enzo Fernandez just fouled there by Bogle. A bit too tight to his man. Fernandez goes quickly. Has the give and go from João Pedro then. Tries to play a through ball to Garnacho, but didn't come off the first time. Does just about get it to Garnacho the second time though. Caicedo looking for the ball to Pedro Neto, who just can't quite keep it in. Pedro Neto, the danger man for Chelsea. The joint most goal involvements in the FA Cup. Chelsea's top scorer in the competition as well. 4 goals and 1 assist for him. And that's only 1 less goal than he's got in the Premier League all season, so it's been a good competition for him. Calvert-Lewin flicks it on, but to no one. And the possession stats are heavily weighted in Chelsea's favour, 88% possession so far. But the game's still waiting to catch fire, really. Sanchez going long. Gusto. João Pedro with a flick. Caicedo. Cucurella. Here's Garnacho now. What can he do? Looks to take on Aronson, but Aronson wins that duel and Leeds can look to clear with Bogle, who just fakes the clear. And eventually does, but it is back with Chelsea and Enzo Fernandez. Caicedo clips it forward. Garnacho's made the run, but his touch just got away from him and it goes out for a goal kick. But positive play from Chelsea. And Garnacho was onside and it's poor, really. Stroke coming forward, but his ball is not aimed at Leeds player, and it's back with Chelsea. Sanchez hooks it away. Tanaka heads it forward. Gusto winning it. Here's Chalobah. Gets past Calvert-Lewin well as he faked to go back to Sanchez. Neto onto João Pedro, lets it go through his legs, but Biol is there for Leeds. Perry clears it. Cucurella heads it forward. Enzo Fernandez leaves it because he was offside. And it's back with Perry. Justin clears. Calvert-Lewin heads it forward. Aronson battling with tossing, but Caicedo's there to help and can play it back to Sanchez. Enzo Fernandez now on the left for Chelsea. He does like to pick up those types of positions just inside on the left. Here's Garnacho now. Enzo Fernandez. Caicedo. Cucurella. Garnacho beats his man, crosses it in, headed away. It's back with Caicedo though. Fakes the shoot. Tries to make a yard but plays it to Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto up against 2 Leeds players. Plays it back to Gusto. So all Chelsea so far in these opening 15 minutes. Still 0-0 here though at Wembley. Cucurella. Chalobah just loses his footing a little bit, but just about gets it off to Gusto. Gets the return as well. That's good play from Chelsea, but Chalobah's pass is poor. It's intercepted by Aronson. Here's Bogle. Striding forward. Calvert-Lewin on to Aronson brilliantly. It's a big chance and it's a great save from Sanchez. The feet of the goalkeeper denying Aronson, but that was a brilliant move from Leeds. Bogle striding forward, playing it into Calvert-Lewin, and it was a perfectly played ball. First time from Calvert-Lewin, just to slide in Aronson, and Aronson tried to slide it into the bottom corner, but it's a good save from the foot of Sanchez. But that's the best move of the game. Really good that from Leeds. They've not had much of the ball, but when they have had it, they've been a threat. And Tanaka now will take this corner for Leeds. Tanaka whipped in, headed on by Calvert-Lewin, and then caught by Sanchez. And Leeds will go into this with real confidence. As I say, they're unbeaten in 7. They've scored quite a few goals in recent times. But here's Gusto coming forward, but that's a poor pass. It goes between the Chelsea players, but it is back with Enzo, and that's good anticipation from Bogle to cut out the through ball. And he looks to play a through ball down the right, but it's too close to Cucurella. And Sanchez has it back for Chelsea and plays it off to Tosin. Here's Chalobah onto Lavia, getting a rare start for Chelsea. Here's João Pedro coming forward now for Chelsea. Leeds players backing off. Here's Pedro Neto. Looks to shoot, but it's blocked well. Aronson shielding the ball away from Cucurella. He does well. Cucurella just a bit too nippy on Aronson, and it's going to be a free kick. Aronson getting the Leeds fans up. It's a beautiful day at Wembley. Perfect day for football, really. Perry. Biol now for Leeds with a bit of possession here. Biol plays it in, looking for Okafor, but Calvert-Lewin picks it up. Now João Pedro looks to hold the ball up. But it's good defending by Leeds, and they've won it back. Biol, Tanaka back to Biol. Here's James Justin. Aronson, that ball was a bit loose to Aronson, so he couldn't quite reach it. But it is still with Leeds, and it's going to be a throw-in over on this left-hand side as the loose ball went out. Throwing forward by Leeds, but it's won back by Chelsea. Lavia. Here's Gusto with a bit of space. Onto Pedro Neto. Neto making a yard, and his cross is blocked by Strike, and it is out for a corner for Chelsea. Therefore, first corner of the game. Crossed in by Neto, headed away by Strike. Fernandez, Garnacho with the volley, but it's blocked. Tanaka misses his clearance though. Lavia, loads of Leeds bodies back. Gusto's touch is heavy. And it is back with Chelsea though. Caicedo getting closed down by the Leeds players, but it's still with Chelsea looking to beat the press. Gusto forced back though. Sanchez having to clear in the end, headed back forward and then flipped back to Sanchez in goal. Enzo Fernandez now for Chelsea, on to Garnacho. Looking to take on Bogle again. Garnacho can't quite, and it's going to be a throw-in for Chelsea. Cucurella throws it into the box, but it doesn't find any Chelsea player. It's falling with Lavia though. Fernandez clips it forward. João Pedro hits the post. Chelsea's biggest chance of the game, and it's fallen to João Pedro. Biol's header only found Lavia, and then Enzo Fernandez with a lovely, delicate pass to João Pedro, and it's a decent effort at the angle, but just hits the post and spins out for a goal kick. But there's a good energy now to this game, and Bogle can look to maybe latch onto that ball, but it's defended by Chalobah, and it's going to be a goal kick for Chelsea. And they do look to play it short. Pedro Neto can't quite win that header against Stroke, but here's João Pedro playing it to Pedro Neto. On the right, Neto clips it in. Enzo Fernandez, it's 1-0 Chelsea. Great move, great header, and Chelsea strike the first blow at the home of football. A slick counter-attack from Chelsea. And Enzo Fernandez puts his side 1-0 up. The captain delivers. And it initially actually came from a long ball from Sanchez, and Pedro Neto was battling with Strauch, but didn't actually win the header, but it did fall to Chelsea, and then it's just a lovely clipped ball from Pedro Neto to Enzo Fernandez. And from close range, he was never going to miss. Tossing heads forward. Calvert-Lewin onto Bogle. Bogle crosses it in first time, but it's cleared by Chelsea. Garnacho, Cucurella. Flicked on by João Pedro. But Leeds can clear. Caicedo. Gusto. His pass is just a bit loose. And there's something that the Chelsea players aren't happy with here. Calvert-Lewin, the subject. Need a replay for this. Was it an elbow? Oh, it was appeals for Calvert-Lewin pulling Cucurella's hair, but it's a clear dive from Cucurella. It's not what you want to see. So they are checking, but from first glance, it didn't look like it was a hair pull. I mean, Cucurella's got so much hair that it's difficult not to touch it. Calvert-Lewin was just being physical, and yeah, check is complete. Lavia. Goodmanson winning it back for Leeds, and it's going to be a throw-in. And that's a bit of a loose pass, but Stripe deals with it. Leeds still have it. Nice ball played in to Okafor, but his pass doesn't have enough purchase on it, and it's intercepted by Chelsea. Goodmanson goes down, wins a free kick. So it will be a free kick for Leeds here. Tanaka to take it as we approach the half-hour mark. Can he create a chance from this? Tanaka. It's outside the box for now. Beal heads it back in. Flicked on. Chelsea player goes down, and it's going to be a free kick for Chelsea. And Chelsea do generally have a good affiliation with the FA Cup. They got to 3 consecutive FA Cup finals between 2020 and 2022, but haven't been in one since. But always tend to have a decent run in the competition. Garnacho. Fernandez just about plays that to João Pedro. Cucurella. Garnacho. João Pedro. Back with João Pedro. After Enzo Fernandez played it, but it's won back by Leeds. It falls to João Pedro though, who shoots and it just goes wide. Another chance for Chelsea. Half chance really. It was a difficult one, but So Perry with the ball at his feet. Strike. Goes long. Pedro Neto winning the ball back well for Chelsea. Striding forward. Toss in. Cucurella. Nice sharp passing from Chelsea. Garnacho gets the give and go from Enzo Fernandez. It's a good play from Chelsea. Clipped in by Garnacho and cleared away by Leeds for a corner kick for Chelsea. It is a busy 6-yard box. It's clipped in by Pedro Neto. Cleared by Leeds, but it is back with Neto. Neto again hooks it in. Bit too much on that though this time, and James Justin can let that ball go out for a goal kick. So it's been a decent opening half an hour. Both teams with good chances, but Leeds with that goal thanks to Enzo Fernandez's header. And this game is really important for Chelsea, just to give them renewed momentum going into the final stretch of the Premier League season, as they've lost ground. They are currently in 8th now in the Premier League. So there's just a fight for them to get Europe really at the moment. Although there is a chance that 6th place would get Champions League if Villa finish 5th and win the Europa League, which is possible. Caicedo. Finding João Pedro. João Pedro gets it back from Enzo Fernandez. Good interchanging from Chelsea in this game so far. João Pedro being back has definitely helped that. Cucurella finds Garnacho, who gets into the box, but the flag is up for offside on Cucurella. João Pedro heads it towards Pedro Neto. He's Gusto. Neto's making the run, but Gusto instead goes back to Chalobah. Toss in. Out to Cucurella. Caicedo plays a nice sharp pass to João Pedro, who holds it up really well. Does a bit too much though, as it's a heavy touch, and Okafor has a shot, but it's then cleared by João Pedro in the end, making up for that error. And he's back with João Pedro. Chalobah. Toss in. Cucurella finds a gap to Lavia. This is good passing from Chelsea, making the most of what is a big pitch at Wembley, and they are using that to their advantage. And Enzo Fernandez is down. And Garnacho's down at the moment for Chelsea. But they do play on. Pedro Neto, that's good work. Beating Goodmanson. Out to Fernandez. Garnacho's back up. And he's got it on the left. Checks back onto his left and he drills a cross in, which can't find a Chelsea man. But it is out with gusto on this right-hand side, who goes back to Fernandez on this right-hand side. Here's Pedro Neto. Enzo Fernandez. Cucurella. Garnacho. Can't sort his feet out. And it is a Leeds ball. Ampadu. Back to the goalkeeper. Streck finds a pass to Okafor. Goodmanson. Aronson. That's good play from Leeds. Out to Bogle now. Aronson. Lavia is on him and wins the ball back only momentarily though, as Leeds have it now with Biel. Ampadu to Calvert-Lewin, holds the ball up well. Here's Bogle now on the right. Bogle nutmegs Cucurella. He's into the box now. It's Aronson who looks to cross it in, and it's going to be a corner. Or is it? I think it will be a corner for Leeds. Good initial play from Bogle though to nutmeg Cucurella and get into the box, and found Aronson who'd made a run on the right. And it is a corner for Leeds. Tanaka crosses it, it's headed away. It could drop anywhere this, and Chelsea players down, but it will be a free kick against Leeds. Well, it's been nearly 10 years since Chelsea won the FA Cup. They got to plenty of finals, but it was Antonio Conte's side who won the FA Cup in 2018. And that was, of course, Conte's last game for the club. Enzo Fernandez looks to flick it over to Pedro Neto. And it's out for a throw-in. Nothing comes of that. So 5 minutes left of this first half, which has seen Chelsea take the lead through Enzo Fernandez. And Chelsea deserving of their lead. Leeds had a big chance with Aronson at 0-0, but other than that, no major chances. Here's Ampadu. Bogle crosses it in and it's blocked and out for a throw-in for Leeds. Ampadu's throw-in. In it's still with Leeds. Okafor with the volley and it's wild and over. Leeds have had more of the possession in the last 5 minutes, 63%, but that hasn't equated to chances yet. As Ampadu plays it on to Strauch, who goes long, aiming for Goodmanson, and it will be a throw-in for Leeds. So Leeds ending the first half with some dominance, but only dominance in terms of the ball, as they've not tested Robert Sanchez as of yet. James Justin now onto Bogle. Bogle back to Beale. Stroke. Strike going long again, but it's headed forward and then cleared by Caicedo. Bogle. Aronson. Back to Bogle. Can Leeds strike before the half is up and alter the team talk of Callum Farney? Ball played over the top, but there's too much on that, and Chelsea will let that go out for a goal kick. Sanchez's ball is flicked on, but then cleared by Leeds. Calvert-Lewin jumping, but Chelsea clearing. Beale to Bogle. 4 minutes of added time in this first half. So a chance for Leeds to create something, but Chelsea making it difficult for them as Ampadu's pass finds Okafor well. Calvert-Lewin goes down and it's going to be a free kick for Leeds. Are they going to play this short or lump it into the box? Well, the centre halves are coming forward, so I think we know the answer to that. Tanaka behind it. Just past the halfway line for Leeds. Relatively central, so it's going to be tricky really from this position, but it is played forward towards Strauch, who heads it across goal, and that's a foul on Lavia, who is holding his head, and Strauch pleads his innocence, but referee Jared Gillett makes the decision. Sanchez with the free kick then. Gusto. Back to Sanchez. So a throw in for Leeds on this right hand side. And it's back with Beale. Ampadu. Bogle. Strike. Goodmanson. Going long. Calvert-Lewin leaping, but beaten to the ball by Tosin. And here's Caicedo, who goes back to Sanchez and goal. Sanchez clears. Chested down well by Beale. Goodmanson. Loses it to Neto there. Neto. Gusto chips it forward and it's kept in. Neto gets past Tanaka brilliantly. Neto, what can he do? Tanaka biting back and winning it, and then Pedro Neto fouling. So Leeds with a free kick deep in their own half. But that might be the last action of the first half. And it is. So Chelsea go into the break. A goal to the good thanks to Enzo Fernandez. Heading in from Pedro Neto's cross from the right hand side. Leeds, they've had a couple of good chances. Aronson playing it towards goal. Aronson, his shot was saved by the legs of Sanchez. And it's been a game that has had a good feel to it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half and if Leeds can get back into the game and create some more chances. But at half time here at Wembley, it's Chelsea 1, Leeds 0. So we are back underway in this second half at Wembley, where Chelsea currently lead Leeds United 1-0 in the FA Cup semi-finals. Played into the box by Leeds. It's gonna be hit and saved by Sanchez and onto the roof of the net. What a chance, what a shot from Rodon. His first, it was Stack rather. Great strong save from Sanchez because Stack really caught that well. Great save. And what a start to the second half. So it's going to be Stack over to take the corner. Stack and Rodon have come on for Leeds. Replacing Justin and Bill. So a change in shape for Leeds. It looks like they're gonna go to, we've gone to a 4 at the back. Here's Chalobah. Leeds with that extra body in midfield. It's going to pose a different challenge for Chelsea. Here's Gusto, back to Lavia, onto Neto now. Gusto's making a run and he is found by Neto. Gusto puts Strauch on the floor. Brilliant football, João Pedro! Oh, it's just smuggled wide. And João Pedro, I think he just took a bit too much time there. Great play from Chelsea. All round. Pedro Neto found Gusto, who checked back brilliantly, and it was a lovely flick from Enzo Fernandez, but then João Pedro just took a bit too long to get the shot away, and the Leeds players managed to just get back and make it difficult, and ended up just playing it out for a corner kick for Chelsea. And the corner is taken and it's headed back out for another corner. A great start, a lively start to the second half here at Wembley. And this corner goes short this time. Neto onto Caicedo. Caicedo into the box. Gusto looks to cross, but it's blocked by Bogle. And you do think that this game will be more open in the second half because of Leeds' change of shape. Gone to a 4 at the back, so it's going to be a bit more open this game, and that's great for the neutral. And looks like we're going to get some goals in this second half, you'd hope. Neto whips this corner in, it's headed away and then cleared by Okafor. Here's Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, onto Neto, who keeps it in well. Neto up against Bogle, checks back, Fernandez, Caicedo, tries to flick it forward, but it's won back by Leeds, and the counter can be on here. Okafor looking to get past Fernandez, and he does so brilliantly. Caicedo's back. Okafor crosses it in, and it just goes over Calvert-Lewin. That's great play from Okafor for Leeds. Ampadu lunging, but can't quite get that high ball. And João Pedro with brilliant feet wins a free kick for Chelsea. Just skipped away, João Pedro. Winning the foul. And that's good aggression from Leeds, winning the ball back. There wasn't that in the first half because of the back five. They weren't being as aggressive as they are in this half. As Ampadu plays it out to Goodmanson. Here's Okafor. You get the sense that this is going to be a really good second half, especially if Leeds can get the first goal in the half and equalise things up. Strike heads it on. Okafor wins his header, but Caicedo is mopping up for Chelsea, and then Gusto can clear, but it's won back by Leeds. Here's Tanaka. Aronson. Gusto gets a foot in. Both players are appealing for something, and it's going to be a goal kick for Chelsea. Sanchez goes long, and that's too long, and it's out for a throw in for Leeds. Aronson. Nice feet. Back to Ampadu. Okafor. Okafor up against Gusto. Gets past him. And doesn't concede a free kick. Perhaps surprisingly, as it looked a free kick, but Gusto with good strength against Aronson, and Aronson brings Gusto, oh no, play on. Jared Gillett is letting things go, and it's a real huddle between players there. And it's going to be a throw-in for Chelsea in the end. Ampadu, Okafor, Tanaka, Okafor. It's Goodmanson. Back to Stripe. Goodmanson charging forward for Leeds. Here's Okafor. Okafor crossing just goes beyond everyone, and it's out for a goal kick to Chelsea. João Pedro with a lovely turn, taking two Leeds players out of the game. Enzo Fernandez. Garnacho shoots, and it's blocked and out for a corner. Good swift counter from Chelsea. João Pedro at the heart of it. So, a corner for Chelsea. They still have the 1-0 lead 10 minutes into this second half. But Leeds have definitely been the aggressors. Crossed in and hits the roof of the net from Enzo Fernandez. Perry. Cucurella hooks it away. Enzo Fernandez tries to play the volley down the line to go on Acho, but it's back with Leeds, and that's good composure from Perry. Chelsea with the press, but Leeds breaking that press well. Goodmanson asking for a foul as Tanaka went down off the ball. But it is still with Leeds. Here's Rodon. Ampadu. Okafor. Into the box. Calvert-Lewin's header is grasped by Robert Sanchez comfortably in the end. There perhaps wasn't enough power or enough pace on the cross, and Calvert-Lewin had a lot of work to do there. But Leeds pressing again against Chelsea, and it's working. It is working. As they've definitely started the second half, the better team, Leeds. Rodon. Bogle. Back to Rodon. Stack. And Chelsea win it back, and they can clear and look to break, but Struijk is just about beating Neto to the ball, although he went past the ball, and Neto could have been in there, and he knows it as he is frustrated there because he could have been away, but just couldn't quite get the ball under control, and it did end up going out for a throw into Leeds, which they have taken, and they have the ball at the back now with Rodon. Clipped forward. Here's Bogle. Stack takes a tumble and wins a free kick. And it's going to be the first yellow card of the game, and it is going to be for Caicedo. Just a little bit late there on Stack as he caught him there. And Robert Sanchez is down here, and Gusto is having a chat with him, and I'm not sure how serious this is, as Robert Sanchez doesn't look like he's getting up anytime soon. He's not, doesn't look in pain, but And there is a bit of afters off the ball here between Lavia and Ampadu. And a stretcher is coming on for Robert Sanchez, so it must be serious. The stretcher had been ready, but Sanchez is back up. That's a strange sequence of events there. As Chelsea clearly weren't happy with something. I mean, Ampadu did go across when Callum McFarlane was speaking to one of his players, and he was just being a bit nosy. So the Chelsea players didn't take nicely to that. But Sanchez is back up, and Leeds have a free kick. Stack goes for goal, and it just goes wide. And we know he's got that in his locker, as he scored a free kick in the Premier League this season. Just couldn't quite get the curl on it as it went round the wall, but comfortably wide in the end. Lovely flick, nearly from Stack, but just went out of play. It's going to be a throw-in for Chelsea. And there are some Chelsea bodies readying themselves to come on. Palmer has taken a seat though, so he doesn't look like he's going to be on just yet. Andre Santos is stripped and ready. Well, Callum McFarlane will have been pleased with the first half, but the second half is proving a bit more tricky for Chelsea. Leeds have responded well, and the change of shape has really helped them, as Chelsea haven't been able to get a grip of the game like they did in that first half. Bogle loses out against 3 Chelsea players, but Leeds managed to win it back. Calvert-Lewin now. Ampadu switches the play, aiming for Okafor. It's cleared only as far as Tanaka though for Leeds. Here's Goodmanson on the left, on to Okafor. Goodmanson making the overlap. Okafor gets past Neto. It's fallen to Goodmanson. Gets a yard, crosses it in. It's lofted. Calvert-Lewin can't win his header, but Tanaka volleys forward. And that is shanked, to say the least, and it goes comfortably wide of the right-hand post of Robert Sanchez. Positive play, though, from Leeds. So Lavia will be making way here for Chelsea, and he will be replaced by Andre Santos. Very capable substitute. And he did have a run in the team, but hasn't had too many starts of late. Still only 21, Andre Santos. Another one of the young projects that Chelsea have invested in. And Andre Santos' last start was actually in the FA Cup quarter-finals. Against Port Vale rather, got a goal as well, but has been on the bench in the last 2 games against Brighton and Man United. Cucurella. Santos with his first involvement. Here's Enzo Fernandez on to Chalobah. And Cole Palmer is getting readied as well. So he'll be looking to make an impact, as it's been a struggle. It's been a season of struggle for him. But can he make an impact on this game? As you'd think there would be another goal. There will definitely be a goal in this second half, I can assure you of that. But which way will it go? And Okafor's gone down here, holding his leg. Maybe she's got a bit of cramp somewhere. So a big chance for Leeds with Calvert-Lewin not long ago with the header. He tried to head it back from where it came from, which wasn't the worst idea, but there just wasn't enough pace on the cross really. So any direction he put his header, there wasn't going to have much power on it. Leeds dominating the ball in this second half, that's for sure. As Rodon comes forward, plays it inside to Ampadu, back with Rodon. The Welsh international. Here's Tanaka, tries to play it around the corner. And Stroke's got to watch that, and he did well to head it clear. And it's going to be a free kick for Leeds. So, Palmer being given the last few tactical instructions by the Chelsea coaching staff. Here's Goodmanson. Tanaka tries to switch the play, but it's cut out by Cucurella, and he's continuing to overlap for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez out to Cucurella now. Cucurella back with Fernandez. But Chelsea have to go back. Gusto. Neto. Here's Santos. Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez. Garnacho back to Cucurella. Fernandez. Caicedo. Back with Enzo. Here's Chalobah. Now 20 minutes left of normal time here. Chelsea 1, Leeds 0 here at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-finals, but not much to separate these two sides really in the game too. Here's Garnacho, they're up against Bogle. Garnacho goes down. No foul though, and Leeds win it back. Here's Bogle now. Intercepted his passes by Caicedo. So a free kick for Leeds. Throw in for Leeds rather. And there's some changes now pending for Leeds too. Nemecha and Nonso. And that is the last action for Alejandro Garnacho. He is replaced by Cole Palmer for Chelsea. The Chelsea fans enjoying that sight. Cole Palmer back from a little injury setback. Strike finds Calvert-Lewin well with a nice ball over the top, but Gusto comes sliding in to intercept Calvert-Lewin's pass. Strike. Ampadu. Okafor. Goodmanson. Crossing it in and it beats everyone. It's fallen to Bogle, but his touch was way too heavy and it's out for a goal kick to Chelsea. But Leeds definitely still very much in this game and in with a chance of getting that equaliser. And the fans pointing to their watch. Pointing to their watches as Sanchez just taking maybe a bit too long. Looking to waste time. But Leeds win it back here. Ampadu onto Stack. He looks to cross and it's blocked by Caicedo and out for a corner for Leeds. Leeds fans applauding. Leeds United attacking the Leeds end in this second half, so can they give their fans something to cheer? Stack with the corner, headed away by Cucurella. Poor from Stack, not able to beat the first man. So substitutions ready for Leeds now. Nemecha and Nonso coming on. Tanaka is off, and so is Okafor. So their day at Wembley is over, and they'll be hoping they have another day in May. But work to do yet, as they still find themselves 1-0 down, thanks to an Enzo Fernandez header that found the back of their net. But here's the long throw from Leeds. Joe Pedro heading away. Goodmanson. And that's great anticipation from Neto, who wins it back off the left back. Pedro Neto up on his own, and it's defended by Stack, and Neto wins a free kick, a throw in for Chelsea. Santos back to Gusto from the throw. Ampadu wins it back off Enzo Fernandez, who nudges the Welshman. And it's going to be a free kick for Leeds on the halfway line. Here's Streck. On to Goodmanson. Calvert-Lewin couldn't touch it down, and Santos can clear. João Pedro takes it down immaculately. Looks to get past Strauch, and Strauch pulls him down, and it's going to be a yellow card for Strauch and a free kick for Chelsea. Palmer now with his first few touches since coming on. Santos onto Tosin. Gusto. Chalobah onto Palmer, who's found himself on this right hand side so far, and it looks like Neto's gone out to the left. Palmer playing wide and Enzo Fernandez playing centrally. Here's Joe Rodon for Leeds. On to Strike. Goodmanson gets a first time cross in. It's headed away well. Enzo Fernandez on to Neto. Neto back to Cucurella, who clears. Taken down well again by João Pedro. He's really improved that side of his game, just holding the ball up. He's got a brilliant first touch on him. Here's Cole Palmer now, advancing forward on the right. Looks to beat Goodmanson, but Goodmanson holds his ground well. And it's a Leeds ball. And the yellow card's being shown here. I think to Cole Palmer, who just punched the ball away. A silly booking really, but Chelsea just looking to wind the clock down, aren't they? Leeds running out of time here. 10 minutes left to find that all-important goal. But here's Enzo Fernandez playing it onto Cole Palmer. Goodmanson, though, doing well and winning the ball. And it's going to be a free kick to Leeds. Goodmanson for Leeds on the left. Has to go back to Ampadu. Strikes ball is cleared by Chelsea, and it's going to be a throw-in for Leeds in their own half. Farker looking pensive. Leeds fans looking nervous. They know that their side are running out of time here. Here's Nonto though. Can he make a difference for Leeds? On to Rodon. Aronson. Rodon. Stack. Ampadu. On to Stroke. Now we've got a bit of drama left in this FA Cup semi-final weekend. We had some late drama last night when City scored 2 late goals in the 83rd and the 87th minute to win 2-1. Can Leeds do that? Here's Stack winding up to shoot, shooting, and it goes over the bar. He does fancy himself from that range to Stack, but not on this occasion. And Leeds actually edging the match stats now. 10 attempts to Chelsea's 7, 3 on target to Chelsea's 2. But the all-important stat that matters is Chelsea 1, Leeds 0. Ampadu for Leeds. Goodmanson. Back to Ampadu. He's stacked with a bit of green grass to run into. Just gets past the halfway line on the left hand side. Plays an inside pass to Nemecha. His touch gets away from him though. And that's going to be a free kick and a yellow card for the Leeds substitute. It was a poor touch from Nemecha, and it was a nasty challenge that. It will be looked at. It was a lunging challenge for the ball, but he did catch the leg of Caicedo, and it was relatively high that, but I think he'll get away with it just because the force, not sure that there was enough force there and enough that his foot didn't plant on to Caicedo's leg. It was more of a graze, so he has got to be careful, but it won't result in a red for him. Pedro flicks the header on brilliantly, but Palmer can't keep it. Here's Nemecha. Aronson, he's been battling all day in that midfield for Leeds. Goodmanson about to take the throw in, but Aronson is going to be substituted first. He's put a real shift in for Leeds, and Sean Longstaff is his replacement. Long throw that's flicked on by Calvert-Lewin. It's going to be a throw-in again for Leeds, but this time in Chelsea's half. So Chelsea 1, Leeds 0, 86 minutes on the clock. But Leeds with all the ball, but just needing to find some chances. Here's Calvert-Lewin now. Oh, and Chelsea do well to just crowd him out and win the ball back. But it is back with Leeds. It keeps coming back to the Yorkshire side. Stroke for Leeds. Played on to Goodmanson, who tries to thread it through to Nonso, but it's blocked, and it's going to be another throw-in for Leeds. And the throw-ins are getting closer and closer to the Chelsea goal. Stack tried to prod it forward, and is that ball going to go out? No, Caicedo has to play it out and wins a goal kick anyway after his clearance hit a Leeds player. And Chelsea defending resolutely as the clock ticks down. Fernandez. Cucurella. And Caicedo goes down and wins a free kick. Sean Longstaff with the foul. And that was it was a nasty one. And Caicedo is looking in some discomfort at the moment, as Longstaff just hooked Caicedo's leg, and it did fall a little bit uncomfortably for the midfielder, and he does look in a lot of pain here. And this isn't good for Chelsea, as he is a vital player for them, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to continue here. Caicedo getting to his feet, which is a really good sign. And is it going to be okay? And he's going to be okay to continue Caicedo by the looks of things. And that's going to add quite a bit of stoppage time onto things as we've hit the 90-minute mark. And there will be 8 minutes of added time here for Leeds to get a late equaliser. There's been so much drama in the FA Cup so far this season, and Leeds have been involved in it themselves. They were 2-0 up against West Ham until the 90th minute, and West Ham scored 2 90th minute goals to take things to extra time, so there is still hope for Leeds, as they just need the one goal to change things. Strike onto Goodmanson. Up against Palmer. Goodmanson gets a cross in. Can't find a Leeds player though. Ampadu. His pass is cut out by Palmer. Farker, a frustrated looking figure there on the touchline. As he knows his team are running out of time, but a lofted ball is headed away by Chelsea. And they have defended well. Leeds have struggled to create anything in this second half. And whilst they've had more of the ball, it's not resulted in a generation of chances. Nonso, Longstaff. And that's a foul from Santos, lunging in there. Santos thought he got the ball, but it's going to be a free kick for Leeds. And it's played quickly. Goodmanson, he'll get an early cross in, but again it's a hopeful ball. And there's been too many of those, really. Ampadu. Stack has it now for Leeds. Strauch, Goodmanson. Palmer up against Goodmanson. Goodmanson goes down. No foul according to the referee. And Chelsea can look to break. Enzo Fernandez tried to play it through to Neto, but it took a nick. And a vital one because it's back now with Leeds. Longstaff over the top. Cucurella heads away. Enzo Fernandez now goes to ground, but no foul. Leeds play on, but it's a loose touch. But Leeds win it back, and Bogle with Neto. And Neto going down extremely theatrically. And it's going to be a yellow card for Bogle. Neto looking like he's been shot. I'm sure he'll live. Long free kick from Leeds, headed away by João Pedro. Nonso outmuscling Fernandez, and Nonso goes down and wins a free kick. So Leeds, a free kick in a relatively dangerous position. Not shooting range, but a decent crossing position for them. About 35 yards away from goal on the left. It looks like it's going to be Longstaff to play this ball in. Centre halves are up. Longstaff clips it in, and it's just got too much on it, and it's out for a goal kick. Just haven't had enough of Leeds. Haven't quite had enough attacking guile. Calvert-Lewin winning his header. Goodmanson, he's hobbling. I don't know whether he's pulled something, but then tries to play it forward. And Stack pushes Santos to the ground. And it's going to be a free kick. Stack is very aggrieved by that, as is Daniel Farker. And one final substitution for Chelsea. João Pedro makes way, and he's been fantastic. Coming back from injury. And it's been a brilliant 97 minutes from him. Hasn't got a goal, but he's just been linking the play really well, holding the ball up brilliantly. And he is now replaced by Liam Delap. Who has struggled filling in for João Pedro. So 30 seconds to a minute left here as Palmer takes the ball down, but Leeds can win it back and they can look to play out for perhaps one last opportunity, but it's won back by Chelsea and clipped forward, but Rodon plays it back to Perry. Perry goes long. Palmer wins it and looks to shoot from range to catch Perry off his line, but it was very ambitious on the volley and it didn't go anywhere near the goal in the end. So the referee should blow the whistle any minute now as Perry goes forward. Headed away by Chelsea. Nonso with the throw, and will they have time? I think they will. The keeper's up. This is it for Leeds. This is it. Ampadu with the long throw. Sanchez is high up out of his goal and claws away. Nonso can't get his cross in. Ampadu has to try and get it in, but it's blocked well by Chelsea. And that is the final whistle. Chelsea will be back at Wembley in May, and they're in an FA Cup final. It's been a turbulent time for the Blues. Really struggled in the Premier League. Haven't won in the last 5, losing all of them. But this will be a reprieve and perhaps a momentum shifter going into their last stint of the season. And they've got an FA Cup final against Manchester City to look forward to. As for Leeds, it's been a brilliant season for them. They just need to make sure they confirm their stay in the Premier League for next season. They're already on 40 points. They may need a couple more, but it is looking good for them. So they can be proud of their efforts, but just didn't quite have enough in the end today. So at full time at Wembley Stadium in this FA Cup semi-final, it's finished Chelsea 1, Leeds United 0.